Deep.
Okay. Oh, good morning.
Good morning.
Did you
I
just let me
decided to just
know?
stay in my unicorn onesie because it makes me very happy. So
Yeah.
I'm happy Sunday, and we are going to be doing breath work today because it is really truly something that can completely alter your life in many ways. So that is going to be our pop today. So to begin, we're going to do our meditating without meditating. Hope everybody is doing really well. So if you want, you can feel the ground below you with your feet, which is your root. Take a deep breath in and begin by saying or thinking, I release the thoughts. And think of empty. And another empty. And one more. Put your hand to your heart. And we can begin. Okay. All right. So Jen, if you want to check just to see if anyone's popping in.
Yeah, I was peeking on. I was trying to meditate without meditating, but I was really watching the list of humans.
Yeah, okay. Just so I brought with me this, oh, where'd it go? Here. Just as an example, because part of what I do is, as some people will know, is Reiki, which talks a lot about the chakra system. And I don't know if you're going to be able to see this. If I bring it, nope, it doesn't show up. So I'm going to send it to everybody in a file form. But it talks all about our different chakras in our body, and that we have 7 chakras, but we actually have 12. And that is because there are chakras above us and around us. But often you just hear, and I originally only heard of the 7 chakra systems, but as I'm learning, there's one actually above us and around us. So if we can begin to understand that there are more around us, and when we breathe, we actually breathe to the higher chakra above us, we will center ourselves even more and more and more. So the first one that we're going to learn today is called Mula Bandha, and it is right at our root lock, which our root lock is at our second chakra. And our second chakra is all about our wisdom center. It is at our core. It is right at our core, and it will. It's where basically all of our all of the trueness of who we are resides, and we can lose that so quickly our throughout our lifetime, but also throughout our day. So what you do with this, it's called root lock. It's basically, it's like doing, what do they call those? So like the pelvic floor exercises, where you just tighten everything up, and you can try it now. But you want to tighten, 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 and keep it very, very tight. And then you are going to do a central breath, which means what you do is you're going to go all the way up, 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 and you want to keep that root lock tight. And then you want to breathe, but you want to breathe up past your head. So you can, if you can imagine that, and you want to breathe through that. And while you're breathing, you are thinking of all the parts within you, and keeping that root lock tight and going all the way up above your head and then breathing all the way back down. And by actually keeping that root tight, you are bringing the wisdom back from the breath above you and you are bringing it back down. Does that, it sounds simple, but it's actually a very, very important breath for us to do. You can do it in your car. You can do it while sitting at your kitchen table. You can do it at any sort of, in a line, you can do it anywhere. But what it actually does is it brings back the center to you and brings the power back to you. And you can do it as many times as you want throughout your day. And then there is the solar plexus breath. The root lock one will bring power and strength back to you whenever you're just feeling like you don't know the answer to something, you want control back for yourself, when you're just feeling like perhaps at work or at your house. I mean, really, you could do root lock as many times throughout your day, but it's more just to bring that strength back where you're wanting to know answers for yourself. Like when we were looking at signs last night, root lock, bring it back. That was really visual. Solar plexus breath, and I'm going to give them both to you in writing, is when you have, and I got a great visual about it, is like the ceiling fan above your head. Things are going crazy around you, and you feel like you just want that ceiling fan of thoughts to slow down a little bit. And you're just like, I just need the ceiling fan to just stop. You want to do a solar plexus breath. Solar plexus is at our 4th chakra, and I will send this to you. So this is the 3rd chakra, and this is all about your self-love, your self-confidence, all of the things about yourself. So the solar plexus breath is very, very important. So this is the 2 breaths you're going to want. I'm going to send them both to you. But right now at Christmas time, they're both very important. So solar plexus breath is when you're going to want to breathe inside your belly, but right below your rib cage. So if anyone can feel like right here, where your ribs part, there and there, you're going to want to feel it in, and you're going to want to not move your shoulders and not move below. And you want to basically try to expand that area, like as if you don't want anyone to see what you're doing, like it's a secret. And then you want to move that area out like a grapefruit, and then breathe back in like a baseball. So really, really big. You want to make your belly so huge, and then you want to make it really, really small like a grapefruit. Does that make sense? Stephanie's doing it so well right now. I can tell. So those 2 breaths are really, really important, because what I've discovered, and I didn't know this during my Reiki training, is that if one of your chakras are out of alignment, meaning each one of these areas that we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that it actually can't, so if let's say your root chakra is out of alignment, then your heart chakra won't be in complete alignment, because they aren't hitting each other. Does that make sense? And so, because even if your solar plexus is doing totally well, it's totally sparky and happy, but if this root one's not doing well, then your heart isn't going to be okay, because the 2 aren't in full alignment. So by doing these really, really solid breaths every single day, you yourself are in control and helping each one to come back into alignment. And so it's the ways that you can give yourself the power back to say, you know what, right now I feel like the ceiling fan's spinning. I need my solar plexus. I'm going to breathe it. And so it gives you the power to put those things back into alignment. And I can give you both of them. I've been doing the root chakra one a lot, given the things that are happening right now. And it's helping so much, because it's so simple, so easy. There. Are there questions?
I'm wondering for people who don't know, what is a chakra? Maybe like just a
Yeah, so the chakras are the seven, well, I would say the seven main areas of our body, but so it would be, and I will give you this handout. I wish I could show you, but it reflects. So it gives you the main areas of our bodies, being the third eye, um, your heart, your solar plexus, on and on and on, all the way down to when I say you're grounded at your feet, which is the root of you. And they're like meridians, and so they're areas where energy goes through, and they can be called different names depending on what sort of philosophy you believe in, but you want to have that energy clear and flowing, as best as possible. So that's why when you when you do journaling, that's how you can clear it yourself. When you go for massages, when you go to do all of those things, that does actually help clear the energy. But breath work is one of the most solid ways that you can clear this for yourself. And the more and more I read how much breath work really does help, I'm blown away by how it can transform us. Because one, it takes you to a space in such a fast period of time, but it also allows you to, well, pause for a moment. And it also then allows you to really begin to go like, okay, where is that? And you're putting oxygen back into spaces, into yourself, where you didn't, and it changes the way you stand, changes the way you think about things. It's such an amazing tool that we have. It's your own tool. So it's very good.
Yeah, I started reading a book by James Nestor called Breath. And
Mm,
he is holding on to breath work and asking the question, why have we let that practice go? So that it's been over the last 100 years that all of
yeah.
a sudden we no longer make proper breathing, what you're doing with us, we no longer make it a priority. But in the past, mothers, even as with their infants, were training their children to breathe through their nose, not
Mm,
through their mouth. Like I'm a mouth breather. We're such mouth breathers. But even just when children were sleeping, he was saying that mothers would just sort of hold their hand here so that the child would breathe through their nose, because then we have all our filters, all our little, to filter the air into our body.
mm,
And it's been such a fascinating read. He's also I was listening to him on a podcast, but he said there's a study that's been going on for 70 years now. It's called the Framingham study. And
mm,
they're realizing the most accurate marker of health isn't our cardiovascular or like what we're using for nutrition. It's our lung capacity and our respiratory health. And
mm.
that actually we need to put breath work above nutrition and workouts and all the other stuff. That breath work needs to find that place back at the top, because
Mm.
it connects to everything. And so breathing properly.
Well, and properly, that's what I've learned so much. I had no idea, but I do see how it's even helping people in this last 7 months, because and how often we don't breathe properly, right? I haven't been breathing properly. I'm learning, so I should change my frame of how I say that. But how if in a day you can even breathe in for 4 or breathe in for 8 and then breathe out for 8, it changes your whole time. Like I don't do that. And how I've been able to now slowly do that, because by doing that, you're able to change your thoughts, you're able to calm down, you're able to then look at things just slightly differently. Because sometimes I'd be like, I just need to breathe, and I'm not breathing. I'm really angry still, so that's not breathing. So really being aware of when you are taking that time, that you're taking a time to consciously breathe. So breathing, but not thinking, is really just doing it too. And so to end on that, and I will send that, and please, you know, send me notes because I'm learning about this as well. But I remember when I began, and it really stuck with me when I started doing Reiki. This was probably 4 or 5 years ago, and a woman came in, and I had been taught to say like, breathe in love, and then exhale all the stress. Just exhale it all out. And then she looked at me and she said, I want to give you an offering of saying something else. And I said, okay, sure. And she said, I was trained to breathe in all of my stress, breathe in all of my worries and my panic, breathe in everything that I had to work on, take it all in myself, focus in on my body, on where that stress was, and own it. And then exhale love, because our world doesn't need anybody else exhaling stress. And I thought, that I love. And so now I say that to everybody that I come into, and I always hear people saying like, and I'm just going to exhale stress. I'm like, don't exhale more. Our world needs you to exhale love. So I always offer that to people to really think about it, like just to be able to really focus in when they're breathing, to breathe it in and then focus like, where is this all going? Take it in and then breathe out love, because that's what our world needs.
Oh, I love that. I
Mm-hmm.
love that. Yeah, and I often say, like, if you do pio with me, when you're breathing in, can you check in, where do I feel stress or where do I feel tension? And visibly, with your eyes closed, breathing into that part. Like, can I bring breath here or here? Like, where do I feel tension? And like visualizing breathing in and bringing oxygen to those parts of your body to then, as you breathe out, just release a little bit of tension in those parts of your body too.
Yes.
And even the tummy breath, I learned too that, I'm Pilates trained, and Pilates is all about holding our core in. And we always in fitness classes are talking about holding our core so tight that I think especially us as women go through the day sucking that stomach in and holding it in. And that's just it's not good for us all the time. There's in Pilates, sure, go for it. But I even just check in with myself. A quick check-in you can do is hand on chest, hand on tummy. And when you breathe in, is your tummy expanding? Is it moving? It should be moving outwards, not inwards. And I think we train ourselves, especially women, when we breathe in, keep it all tight. So just those little reminders you can do in the day. Is my stomach expanding as I inhale? I'm bringing in oxygen. It should be opening up, not.
Big belly Buddha, or big Buddha belly. That's what you want. Oh, so it's like, well, that's what I always think now. I want a big Buddha belly when I breathe. I like it. I've got my big Buddha belly. And then I know I've gotten a big Buddha belly breath. But then I know I'm really breathing well. It's a big Buddha belly.
Celebrate your belly.
Yeah. So I hope that helps. And so with the Mula Bandha, just root lock. And so it almost helps when you're feeling really, really like you just need that wisdom back. Root lock. It's just root lock. And you just root it in.
And that's like your Kegel, you were saying. It's like Kegels, like I'm locking it in and then bringing my breath.
And then you bring, and yes, and oh, I'm so sorry, I'm going to say more. You want to hug your heart as you're breathing up. So it's not hug your heart. So as you're coming up with the root lock, you root lock in, and then you're wanting to pull the breath up all the way up to center. And as you're doing that, you want to believe that you're hugging your heart, but hugging your heart from the inside. And the way I visualize it is that I'm hugging my heart from this side, hugging my heart from this side. So it's the heart is in my center. So I'm just going up, 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 hug my heart, hug it, and up. And it just allows me to know that I've got all of me taken care of. If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. It does. So funny you said that, because the way we're ending today is about hugs. That's my brain
Oh,
dance
good.
for today. It's like we talked about this. Any other questions or comments before we close with some hugs?
I like that everyone's cozy.
No, I should have just stayed in my flannels. I would have matched my mug. My onesie is plaid.
Yes.
And then I stole my daughter's scrunchie because it was just fuzzy and happy.
Very cool.
All right, I didn't cut you off, did I, Cindy? Did you have any more?
Oh, no, no, no.
Because that
No.
was amazing. We got all this breath now
Yeah.
to take with our day.
Yeah, I'll send you all the stuff.
Beautiful. Yeah, and so hopefully you guys got the email. We did day 1 and 2, an email sent out to you with everything, like the mantras and the journal prompts. And so today, Cindy, maybe I'll accumulate everything we do today, and I'll send that out as an email, including our chakras.
Yes.
So going back to end, again, we're doing a little bit of brain dance, and we're just doing the very, very first part of brain dance, which is touching. We need to touch ourselves as much as we need to hug and connect with others. So I'm just going to sit up tall, and we're just going to start squeezing.
I feel like you need Madonna's song on.
Yeah. Or what's that? I touch
myself.
Yeah. Touch yourself, guys. Yeah, we're doing it. And then let's come wherever you want. Like, give yourself a little massage. You don't have to go quick. You can stay. You don't have to do what I'm doing. Stay where you want to be. Where do you want to? Can you get in the back there? Squeezing. And here, even your face. So we're just going wherever we want in our body and just squeezing quickly or slowly. You are intuitive, like Cindy has told you. So you actually know what you need right now. So just squeezing a little bit more in your body wherever it feels good. Maybe it's your feet. Yep, foot's on camera. I'm really tight in my calves and my quads, so I'm constantly doing this. And then we're just going to tap. If you've done EFT, there's way more intentional ways to do this, but this is brain dance. So where do you feel? You don't have to go throughout your whole body. Maybe you just want to tap your knees, or you just want to tap your quads, or you want to tap up in here. I do this a lot just to reconnect myself back to my heart. And then just to release it all, brush where it feels good. Brushing your body. Wherever you feel you need it. Again, not what I need, what you need. Brushing. Okay. So now that we've done that, we are going to give ourselves a 20-second hug. Before we go and do that, I want to encourage you to hug someone today. And I know with COVID, there's less people to do, so find someone in your bubble. But to find someone today to hug for a full 20 seconds, and that is a long time. And so the reason for hugging someone, first of all, you're going to hug someone and you're going to make sure they're not leaning on you and you're not leaning on them. So it is a mutual hug where you're both holding yourself upright, but squeezing with intention. So just a big hug, but sometimes we lean on each other. So they say that by hugging for 20 seconds, both upright, but like big, big, big squeeze, it releases oxytocin in our body. And there's so many benefits. You can kind of call it releases love. There's Cindy's exhale love, but it slows your heart rate. It helps you slow down. It helps elevate your mood by releasing oxytocin. So studies, I love science, say 20 seconds, a 20-second, and bearing your own weight, not leaning on each other. So find someone to hug for 20 seconds today, but we can also do this for ourselves, right? We need to support ourselves too. So I'm just going to hold on, I'm just grabbing my timer. And here we go. So we're going to open big. We're going to give ourselves a hug in a minute. We're going to open big and take in the energy of this call, take in the energy of this room, take in the energy of this day. We are blessed to be here and have this day. So bring it in, take a breath, and then give yourself a big squeeze. You can put your head down to your heart, close your eyes if you want, and just squeeze. And I'll let you know when it's been 20 seconds. There it is, release.
Oh, that was nice.
Yeah, and I mean, it's longer than you think, right? It's longer than you think. So giving yourself a squeeze or giving yourself a massage or just touch in general reconnects you back, mind and body back, but also slows us down because we get busy, especially I know all of us are moms on this call. We get so busy in the day that even just grabbing and squeezing yourself, it's like, okay, stop, Jen, you're allowed to stop for a minute, you're allowed to slow down. Or a hug, right? It just releases that oxytocin. And as I say this, I feel like we probably all have to run to our children anyways.
Yeah.
So find someone to hug today. I'm going to do Lavanda. Oh, thank you, Cindy, for that. That was amazing. Yeah. Okay, you guys, have a wonderful Sunday. Thanks for coming. Bye.